In the quiet heart of the countryside, where the morning mist clung to the hills and the evenings were painted in gold, lived David and Helga. Their life was a beautiful, steady rhythm, built over 30 years. Their love was in the small daily rituals. Every morning at 5, David would make 2 cups of coffee. Helga would add a spoon of honey from their own beehives. They would sit on the porch, watching the sun wake up their world, planning the day while their dairy cows waited patiently. But life can change in a single heartbeat. One afternoon, as they were checking the fences together, Helga's laughter suddenly cut short. She reached for David's arm, her eyes wide with confusion, and then she fell. The world went silent. David caught her, his own heart hammering against his ribs. Helga? Helga, look at me. The hospital was a world of cold, hard surfaces and quiet, beeping machines. David held Helga's hand, begging her to squeeze it. When the doctor came, his words were careful. An aggressive brain tumor. Stage 4. I'm so sorry. We're looking at about 3 months. David's world shattered into a million pieces. He thanked the doctor, his voice a stranger's. But later, alone in the dim room, his strength broke. He buried his face in the sheets beside her. His body shook with silent, gut-wrenching sobs. This was a pain beyond tears. When their sons arrived, the family held each other, a tight circle of shared, crushing grief. Then, a miracle. A week later, a gentle touch on his arm woke him. It was Helga. Her eyes were open, clear, and she smiled. "David," she whispered. For a beautiful, fleeting week, she came back to him. They talked about their sons, about the farm. They talked about life. But her strength was fading. The doctors sent her home. "Make her comfortable," they said. There was nothing more they could do. Back home, David devoted himself to her. He'd wheel her into their garden every evening. One particular sunset, the sky was on fire with orange and purple. They sat in their usual spot. "Remember," Helga said, her voice weak but clear. "Remember the day we bought this land?" David laughed, a soft, tearful sound. "We slept under the stars because we had no furniture." As the stars began to appear, Helga grew tired. She leaned her head against his shoulder, her hand finding his. "I love you, David," she whispered. It was a beautiful life. With a soft sigh and a gentle smile on her lips, she fell asleep. And David knew. He felt her spirit let go. After Helga was buried on the small hill overlooking their farm, a deep winter settled in David's soul. The farmhouse was too big, too quiet. The silence was a physical weight. He was just waiting to be with her again. One night, he dreamed. Helga came to him, not sick, but radiant and young. She took his hand. "Come with me, David," she said, smiling. The next morning, they found him. David had passed away in his sleep, a serene and happy smile finally back on his face. He was buried next to Helga on that little hill, their 2 souls forever reunited in the landscape they loved. Their story wasn't a tragedy. It was a love story that even death couldn't end.